When you say martial artist hero in For Honor, I think short range and low damage, because he's not using an actual weapon, high speed, high mobility, and tons of combos. Also, guys, I'm a grappler, not a striker, so don't make fun of me. Anyway, let's do it. Light attacks are simple jabs, enhanced, low damage, and you can only use 2 in a row. However, if you attack from the right and then left, you will do what's called a 1-2 in martial arts, which will make the next slide become even faster while dealing the same damage and maintaining all the properties. Same with heavies, starting at 700 ms, which is decently fast for a heavy, doing them from the opposite side will make them 600 ms. And if you keep doing them from the opposite side, so left, right, they will slowly increase in damage, which in theory gives this hero one of the strongest DPS in the entire game, with the added bonus of being a Hajime no Ippo reference. Haha. Heavies can also be charged, but not that much. Doing so makes them unblockable and a chain finisher, which I'll be naming knockdown punches. And for the hell of it, let's say they stun/blind as well. This is not a property that would be useful, since again it's a chain finisher, but it feels warranted. Oh yeah, and if the enemy is out of stamina, landing a knockdown will throw the enemy to the ground, giving you a decent punish. Lastly, he can soft feint the guard break on every heavy, because he's also a grappler, so of course he has to. Because we have to incorporate kicks, I've added 4 moves that I thought would make sense. The legs are much longer than your arms after all, so perfect for zone attack. This is a roundhouse kick. This move has a decent hitbox, and costs a bit more stamina than usual. The chain zone is a little different. It's instead a leg sweep you see in games like Street Fighter, that I for the life of me cannot do. But yeah, being a fast chain bash that knocks down, which is a really strong property, the only thing you personally get out of it is a measly light attack for 10 damage. And of course, a heavy from a nearby teammate. This guy doesn't really have big hitboxes, so we gotta make his 1v1s or ganks decently strong. The third move involving your legs is a high kick. Much like Shugoki's headbutt, this is a bash that deals 10 direct damage. And finally, you got your running attack, or roll catcher, and it looks a little something like this. Moving on to mobility, this character has a double dodge like Shinobi. Difference being, it doesn't carry him very far, nor can the second dodge deflect for the sake of balance. And yeah, spoilers, I plan to give him a deflect. I've also toyed with the idea of giving him fast dodge timings like the old Highlander in offensive stance, with the caveat that you would only be able to dodge left, right, in that order. But after some consideration I went with a safer approach. But at the same time, I really wanted to add this ability because it would really fit the character, but there's no way to know without testing. Anyway, for your dodge attacks, you can access any of your punches, which means that depending on the move, you can punish with a light, a more powerful albeit GB vulnerable heavy, which will still give you 20 damage on the right read, and on some extreme scenarios, a knockdown, which would work similarly to Warmonger's Unblockable. Double dodging into an uppercut seems like a very boxer thing to do for me, and I think this ability would be really fun. Lastly, dodge cancels. But let's make this very clear. He can only dodge cancel from regular light and heavy attack punches, not from any move that involves his legs, and not even from knockdown punches either. Only your average lights and heavies. Still, he needs this because it's probably the only way that I see him being even close to viable in teamfights. And again, fits the character. Now we get on to punishes. On a heavy parry, you can zone attack for damage, or light attack for better mix-up potential. Because remember, if you punch from the opposite side, your attack will come out faster. On a guard break, you can heavy for 20 damage in the execution, but if you press light 4 times, he will do this little in-fighter sort of like boxer animation, which deals more damage. He's also got this ability where if you throw the enemy forwards like normal, he'll do this unique palm strike animation which deals 10 direct damage, so pretty good for wall splat punches given your positioning being good. And on a light parry, you can go for a 20 damage heavy, or the knockdown which will finish the chain. It's clear parries aren't amazing on this guy, and they're not meant to be. So dodging or guard breaking are your best friends. Speaking of which, you can deflect. And again, the damage isn't insane, but it's mostly here just to give you insane combos afterwards. Not only does it blind, but it deals some stamina damage as well. So imagine deflecting an enemy that's already low on stamina, putting them in an out of stamina state, and then following up with a knockdown for a massive punish. That's the kind of moments that I'm trying to go for this character. There's also one last attack I haven't mentioned, which you can do on a backstep guard break. In grappling, this is called an over-the-hip throw. Sadly, I don't have a victim with me, so I can't show it properly to you all, but yeah, this can be a ganking tool. You can also get this off of light parries, or whenever you want really. I've also thought of a unique punish on downed enemies where you would jump on top of them and start beating them down. Just a massive flurry of punches where you just be pressing light, and all your punches would deal like 5 damage and eventually get to a total of 35 or something. That's the kind of stupid funny moves that For Honor needs, in my opinion. Come up with feat ideas or move ideas in the comments, and I'll see you later.